Losing a loved one is always hard, especially for kids. Award-winning hip-hop sensation Young Thug is no exception, since he lost one of his elder brothers while he was still young. While death is quite normal and inevitable, the death of Young Thug's elder brother exposes a sinister problem that continues to destroy the black community in America. This is how Young Thug's brother was killed. The brother's death. Young Thug is currently standing trial for RICO charges and is behind bars following his arrest in May 2022. The rap star, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, was born in Atlanta and grew up in the Jonesboro South Projects. He is the 10th of 11 children in his family. Having grown up with many siblings, one might have expected that he would set a good example for young Williams. However, he found himself on the wrong side of the law from a young age. When he was in the 6th grade, he was expelled for breaking a teacher's arm. This earned him a ticket to juvenile prison for 4 years. Clearly, neither his father nor his elder brothers were good role models to Young Thug. While speaking to Rolling Stone about the incident, the rapper said, "I broke my teacher's arm, took his ass out." He narrated his 4-year juvenile stint by saying, 7 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, no windows or nothing, like a real jail, lot of punishment. I ain't do there but gamble, smoke, and His attitude towards school at 9 years old tells it all. In an interview, he said, "I was in the streets at 8. 9 years old, I was going to school so my mom and dad would keep buying me clothes. But when I got out, I did what I wanted to do. Fighting, all kinds of shit." The behavior portrayed by Young Thug while he was still young could probably have been the result of influence from his older brothers. Sadly, the black community in America has fallen victim to various vices that continue to corrupt its youth, often leading to incarceration or even death. Among these vices include gun violence in the black community. Unfortunately, Young Thug witnessed the consequences firsthand while still a young boy. Although not much has been said about Young Thug's elder brother who was gunned down, the rapper told the world how and why his brother was killed. In an interview, Young Thug explained that one of his elder brothers was gambling at a friend's house. Concerned, Young Williams' mother was called by the friend's mom and told on him.
My other brother was gambling. My mom called. My brother was gambling at his friend's house on the porch. His mom know my mom. His mom called. Your son up here gambling.
An alarmed mom quickly told Young Thug's now slain brother to get his sibling from gambling. His elder brother went to the house, found his sibling gambling, and ordered him to go home. However, the story gets a little bit more interesting. The two siblings did not accompany each other home. The elder brother stayed and continued gambling while the younger brother proceeded home.
She sent my big brother to go get him.
Yeah.
My big brother go up there, slap him around, make him go home. He started gambling right there.
Yeah.
He stayed, started gambling.
Deadly mistake. This was the first mistake he made. If he could have left with his brother as their mom had instructed, Young Thug's elder brother could have still been alive. Their parents could have been saved from the heartache of burying their son. Users on the internet had similar thoughts. One user said that his first wrong move was staying after he was sent to pick up his little brother. Young Thug narrated that his brother went ahead and won all the money. Then he decided to head home. However, when he was halfway home, he got a call from his friend, who was still at the gambling house. This is where things went south. According to Young Thug, the friend tried to warn his brother not to return to the house. After losing all their money, the other gamblers were left in a sour mood. They were out for blood. On the phone call, Young Thug's brother was warned that he would be robbed if he showed his face back at that house.
He ended up winning all the money. He leave. One of his friends called him. "Man, don't come back up here. They said they gonna rob you and take the money back."
Any reasonable person would count their lucky stars and continue home, not Young Thug's brother. High on confidence, his brother went back to the house. As fate would have it, his brother was killed shortly after. This move elicited many reactions from netizens. One user noted that, "Man, I would've went home, put a rubber band on that money, put it in my safe, and never went back over there. Cause I'm up one. I don't give a fuck how they feel about taking their L. Hell, he lucky he left in the first place. That's rare in real hoods. Winning everything and leaving with your life. In some hoods, they make you stay. And if you try and leave, they kill or rob you to get that back." Another netizen wrote that, "Man committed an evil he stopped someone else from doing, and then walked straight into his death to prove he was tough. Pride doesn't stop bullets. A real man would have never gone back." On a lighter note, another user joked that, "This short sent me on a quick little emotional roller coaster. Smirked at him, being a big bro, coming to enforce mama's law. Shocked he stayed, saluted him for winning all the bread, then immediately pissed as he didn't take heed of the warning from his friend. Shaking my head. What the he'd have to say? Man, make sure you come back up here. Word is, they're not gonna rob you. But in fact, they want to put more money in your pockets. Hurry. Brave or stupid?" Although Young Thug described his brother's actions as being brave by saying that he a man, many people on the internet strongly disagreed. One person commented and said, Motherfuckers will die over respect from other goofy ass dudes, but won't stay alive to keep their mama from shedding tears. Another slammed Young Thug saying, he a man so he went right back up there. I'm sorry to tell you, that's not a man, that's an idiot. My grandfather once said, be brave for your loved ones, but be wise in the streets. If you want to meet brave men, just visit the cemetery. R.I.P. OG, replied another user. However, some people defended Young Thug's brother by relating to his decision. Man, that's sad as hell. I was a slave to my ego, so I understood Big Bro going back. He felt like his gangsterism was being tested, said one user. Another comment in defense of Young Thug's brother said, everyone calling his brother prideful, but not mentioning the weak boys that felt insecure after homie took they sad situation overall. Other people were puzzled by the phone call he had received from his friend. Had he been set up? Naturally, after winning money, one's natural instinct is to leave, especially if it's in the hood where one could get robbed and killed. In fact, his friend must have known this. He must have known that Young Thug's brother was on his way home with all their money. So how would he get him back to the house without raising any suspicion? Well, there might have been one way. To attack his ego. Being a gangster, an attack on his ego would leave a mark. Most gangsters do not want to be seen as weak, even if it means putting their lives in danger. This may be one of the reasons why gang violence in the black community is high. Young men and women know that this lifestyle leads either to incarceration or death. Despite this knowledge, they still go ahead and indulge in the lifestyle. They simply do not want to be labeled as weak. How it really happened. A U.S. Department of Justice report found that black homicide rates are 7 to 8 times those of whites, although blacks have a poverty rate only 4 to 5 times that of whites. This means that poverty is not the reason for the high homicide rate among blacks. The report also found that in 80 to 90% of cases, the black victim was killed by another black. The saddest part is that about 52% of the murder victims are usually acquainted with their assailants. Numbers from the FBI in 2016 showed that of the 2,870 homicides committed that year among the black community, 2,570 were committed by fellow black people. Such a statistic could prove Netison's suspicions that Young Thug's brother was set up by his friend. One user wrote, sound like his friend set him up, if you ask me. Knowing how he would react, why would you call him to tell him not to come back when he already left with all the money? A true friend like a brother would have either left with you, or if you did so happen to come back, would have got you to leave immediately. According to this user, the friend knew that Young Thug's brother was a gangster, and he would definitely come back to the house. If my friend knows my temperament, he wouldn't call me in that moment. I was born at night, but it sure as hell wasn't last night, another user said, suggesting that his friend knew he was short-tempered and wouldn't take kindly to threat. Young Thug doesn't disclose whether any arrests were made regarding his brother's death. However, on close analysis, it's easy to conclude that he was set up after winning all the money and fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. First, his friend did not have any business calling him to tell him about a plan that would only occur if he returned to the house. Second, being his friend, he must have known his character and personality, making it easier to trick him into returning to the house. From where I sit, this is how the incident unfolded. After winning all the money, Young Thug's brother left. Those who were left gambling were first shocked and then angered after it dawned on them that they had lost all their money. They must have been angrier when they realized they had let him walk. They turned to his friend, who could salvage the situation. That friend knew what was up. Can't trust words from a jealous tongue, said one internet comment. Knowing how he would react, the friend called him and warned him. However, Young Thug's brother fell for it and returned to the house. He was later killed in cold blood. The attitude portrayed by Young Thug's brother may have influenced Young Thug's behavior later in life. The gangster attitude may have rubbed off on the famous rapper. No wonder he is neck deep in criminal cases. Although very little is known about the incidents surrounding the death of his brother, Young Thug's narration of the story makes it easy for anyone to decipher what happened. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.